welcome to another edition of our Customer Spotlight series. My name is Paul Van Haren. I'm the Technical Marketing Lead here at Geocortex. Today we'll be looking at our flagship product, Geocortex Essentials, as well as a few examples of how our customers are using it in the real world to get things done. So for the agenda today, we'll be taking a quick look at how Geocortex aligns with the ArcGIS platform. I'll provide a brief overview of Geocortex Essentials and its key capabilities. Then we'll have a look at some customer examples. So we'll be looking at City of Austin's Flood Pro application, Brooklyn Park's Neighborhood Info and Adopt a Park applications, and finally we'll be looking at City of Bellingham City IQ app. We'll finish up with how you can learn more about Geocortex. So here at Geocortex, we believe that geography provides a means to help people make vastly better decisions about the world around us. This, of course, is very much in alignment with how Esri thinks about geography and GIS. So let's first discuss Geocortex Essentials and how it's connected to the ArcGIS platform. Over the years, Geocortex Essentials has always been built to allow customers to adopt to technology change. Whether you're currently working within ArcGIS Server or you've started the migration to ArcGIS Online into ArcGIS Enterprise, Geocortex Essentials has the capability to integrate with the entire ArcGIS platform. So web maps have become the central currency in a modern GIS application to allow for a distributed and connected GIS. When we use Geocortex Essentials with ArcGIS Enterprise or ArcGIS Online, web maps become an intrinsic part of this equation. Here we can see several users or groups of users signing into their portal using ArcGIS Online or ArcGIS Enterprise portal identity. Then they can create web maps within their organization. These apps could be then shared and used in other products such as Collector, Operations Dashboard, or Web App Builder so that other users can consume those web maps. When we add in Geocortex Essentials, users can sign in using their same ArcGIS Online or portal identity. Then when they author a site, the identity credentials are used to consume those same web maps. Those apps created in Geocortex Essentials can then be shared out through the organization, increasing the usage of GIS throughout the organization. The idea here is that you can use Geocortex Essentials applications alongside your other ArcGIS applications, each solving their own unique business need. So having a look at Geocortex Essentials, Geocortex Essentials is a market-leading solution that extends Esri technology even further. It allows administrators to build web GIS applications that simplify complex interactions and enable users to accomplish their spatially enabled business objectives quickly and easily. We want to allow our customers to create purposeful, intuitive apps and then enable them to deliver what end users need by delivering powerful out-of-the-box capabilities. Our focus is on ease of creation, ease of maintenance, and long-term technology future-proofing for application creators. Geocortex provides some really unique and amazing capabilities. And here are some listed in this diagram. So for example, security, where you can manage access at the application level to specific features with fine-grained permissions. Integrations, where you can link spatial and non-spatial data, files or web services, and embed them into reports, searches, and forms. We'll see some great integration examples later in the presentation. An instance search, which is a highly scalable, extremely fast indexed search engine. Each of these capabilities can be used to create Geocortex applications using Geocortex Essentials Manager. Geocortex Essentials Manager allows you to manage your application, consolidate and control in one easily accessible location. Manager makes it much easier to create and manage custom applications, which can significantly reduce the time, money, and complexity required to create high-impact, customized mapping and GIS applications. Our Geocortex Viewer for HTML5 is fully integrated with the other Geocortex Essentials components, highly configurable, and uses visual administration tools to make development, customization, and upgrades easier. It offers the underlying platform capabilities of Geocortex Essentials that we just saw, while allowing the integration of custom and third-party widgets. So we go back to the Geocortex Essentials capabilities, as there are a few capabilities that are so valuable that we've branched these actually off into standalone modular products. These products include Geocortex Workflow, reporting, printing, our next generation viewer called Geocortex Web, and our mobile offering called Geocortex Mobile. We'll talk more about these products in further detail in just a moment. So here's a full picture of the entire Geocortex Essentials product suite, which can all be obtained with a single license of Geocortex Essentials. Keep in mind that Geocortex Workflow, reporting, and printing can each be utilized within Web App Builder for ArcGIS, as well as our own Geocortex viewers. So let's have a look at Geocortex Workflow. And the tagline we use here is building widgets without actually coding. So Geocortex Workflow is an extremely versatile development application that can be used to streamline even the most complex business processes. Geocortex Workflow can also automate those repeatable tasks or be used to present the user with a guided user interaction, reducing overhead and required manpower within an organization. These workflows are designed and built directly in your browser using an easy-to-use, intuitive drag-and-drop user interface. This designer can be used in a SaaS environment or be installed on premises as required. As mentioned previously, Geocortex Workflow can be used in both Web App Builder or Geocortex applications to take sophisticated business processes into simple, guided end-user interactions without requiring custom development. So as an example, the workflow could be used to capture geometry, collect additional form data to produce results on the map, which then could be used to create a report or supply the captured data to an integrated third-party system. Moving on to Geocortex Reporting. So Geocortex Reporting simplifies the manual process of collecting and compiling important data from a range of sources. Specifically designed for Esri's modern ArcGIS platform, you can bring together maps, spatial data, and relational data to gain a better understanding of your business. An intuitive design experience allows you to easily configure reports to meet design and branding requirements. Geocortex Reporting even allows you to connect through a third-party API for additional flexibility. As with Geocortex Workflow, Geocortex Reporting allows you to configure your reports right in your browser using a drag-and-drop functionality with a wide range of ready-made controls. Geocortex Printing allows you to meet any printing requirement from simple print templates to robust print layouts. You can also configure access to these print templates using integrated security controls. It also allows you to easily configure titles, notes, logos, and other parameters in your print templates to meet your unique needs. So it allows you to generate high-quality, high-resolution map print outputs in all sizes, which includes raster, vector data, and vector tiles. And again, using an intuitive printing designer, users can create custom print templates to include in your organization's logo, color scheme, legal and trademarking information, and other branding components wherever you'd like them to appear on the map. Geocortex Mobile allows users to build mobile applications to meet the needs of the organization, which includes full offline functionality. Combining Geocortex Mobile with Geocortex Workflow then creates a guided end-user interaction for virtually any process. Deployment of the applications you build can be done using Geocortex Go, or publish them yourself as a custom application to your preferred app store or via a mobile device management system. Custom-defined map areas with ArcGIS Online can be used, or let users create their own maps directly on their device for offline use. Geocortex Mobile lets you make edits in the field and synchronize those changes with the database when the app goes back online. So Geocortex Web is the next generation in our viewer technology, which allows you to create visually stunning applications without the need for costly and challenging custom development. Advanced layout configuration within an intuitive web design experience enables you to build responsive applications with a desired look and feel. combining the 3D and 2D capabilities of Esri's JavaScript API to deliver cutting-edge mapping applications. In an upcoming webinar, we'll be taking a closer look at how our customers are using our Geocortex mobile and Geocortex web technologies. And just a quick note that each of these products can be found in the ArcGIS Marketplace, and a good starting place if you're interested in signing up for a free trial. So let's have a look at a few real-world examples. First up, we're going to look at City of Austin's Flood Pro application. So a little bit of background on this. FEMA's 2005 floodplain map modernization program was a major federal effort to improve the quality and accuracy of floodplain information. The City of Austin was an active participant in this process and created an extensive set of GIS-based floodplain models and maps. With the improved data, requests from both the city staff and the public for information increased significantly. The years preceding the completion of the map modernization program saw a sharp spike in floodplain-related requests. In 2008, the city reached a crossroads. Either hire more staff or build a public-facing web application to automate the distribution of floodplain-related information. The city needed a powerful, easy-to-use solution that they could be certain would be stable and well supported for the foreseeable future. It needed to be HTML5 JavaScript based and allow for viewing on mobile devices. They also required the solution to be operating system and browser neutral, having an easy to use interface and allowing them to reuse custom C# code for various features. Lastly, they wanted a solution that they could program themselves, leveraging existing in-house hardware and software. So let's bring up the application itself and have a look. So what I'm first going to do is open up the I Want To menu here and choose this workflow called Explore Atlas 14 Changes. So what this workflow does is compares current data with the data from a study called Atlas 14 that the National Weather Service is conducting. The data suggests that Central Texas is more likely to experience larger storms than previously thought. So this tool allows you to visualize the Atlas 14 data and search for an address to view the flood risk at that location. So as you can see, the data is populated on the map. The purple areas indicate the Atlas 14 data. I'm going to go ahead and search for an address, just to give you an example. As you can see, the autocomplete is working here. I'm just going to run a quick search. So what it's going to do is find that parcel, highlight it, and give us a good look at where this parcel is sitting inside of the Atlas 14 data. As you can see, this parcel specifically is very much affected by the new data, so future plans may change drastically, knowing that this updated data will affect them quite significantly here. So another tool I can use here is called the Find Floodplain Information. So if I wanted to find more information for a selected address or a parcel on the map, I could run a workflow and find that information. So I have the option here to search by an address or search by a parcel. I'm just going to go ahead and use the example that they provided here. This one's also on Barton Street. And run a search. It's going to find that parcel here. And then in a minute here, it's going to display some information. So I'm able to find show the general information about it, but I can also compare FEMA information along with the updated Atlas 14 data here as well. Just get a comparison here. So I can also print up a report. So part of that workflow was when it was waiting there was building this report. This is a dynamic report that was generated that auto fills in this information in regards to that parcel. And now I can take this this report with me and use it as needed. So FloodPro is a public-facing application that now allows the general public to retrieve property-specific floodplain information. So this application specifically serves 3 different user types. So for homeowners, FloodPro gives citizens access to floodplain-related information that was previously accessible only by city staff. The type of information ranges from official FEMA information to local government data to answering simple questions. For example, users can ask if they were in the floodplain. So for developers, having an on-demand access to the latest version of the city's floodplain models and supporting data helps developers design their projects quicker and ensure that they are using the best available data. As well as real estate agents. So the mobile version of Flood Pro allows real estate agents to look up the property's floodplain status while showing that property to a client to ensure all parties are aware of the potential flood risks. The city tracks the number of floodplain information reports generated and floodplain models downloaded, and they've reported that Flood Pro averages approximately 2,000 to 3,000 of these activities per month. Using the application, the city has been able to free up staff time equivalent of 1.5 full-time employees and reassign time for work on other important projects. So Brooklyn Park, we'll be taking a look at a couple of applications, so neighborhood info and their Adopt a Park applications. I'll provide some background on this one as well. So up until 2012, Brooklyn Park offered a single decade-old desktop GIS application and 9 PDF maps on the city's website. The application was used to manually cut shapefiles of their GIS data sets, leaving GIS data and maps perpetually out of date. The legacy system made it very difficult and time-consuming to maintain and update the application, and while they'd technically been active with the Enterprise GIS for more than 10 years, they knew it was time to modernize their approach. So Brooklyn Park has created several great public-facing applications, such as Neighborhood Info and Adopt a Park, as I just mentioned, and these are the ones we'll be looking at today. So first off, we'll look at the Neighborhood Info site. And basically what this does, you enter in, it prompts you right away. The workflow starts up when the site loads. And you can enter an address and find basically everything you need to know about the neighborhood around this the location that you're entering. You'll see that in here in a second. So very quick and snappy workflow here. So we can see a lot of information here on the left-hand side that's populated, and this is the workflow, pulling in all this data together and doing some interesting calculations along the way. So let's kind of review some things here. So we can look at some links, some external links to the program next door. This one right here, I wanted to highlight the parcel ID. So if I click on that URL here, you can see that we're using a URL parameter to bring up a separate system so that they can look further into the tax info for that parcel. We can look at what's the local school district based on the parcel that I selected, schools in the area. It even displays recycling days, garbage days, utility bill months, all sorts of good stuff here. So contacts for various things, the election district. So based on the address I chose, it fills in the district, where the local polling place is, some political contacts. It also gives nearby parks. So it says here there's 4 nearby parks, and it actually locates the closest park. So there's some location calculation going on there. The local community center, and all sorts of stuff. So some emergency contact information here as well. What's interesting as well is I can actually print this information in a report using Geocortex reporting. So if I click on this, just takes a second. And now I have a full report of everything I saw in that panel inside of one single report. I also have a couple of other things here. I have a feature map of the location, and then I also have a city assessor photo that's embedded right inside the report. So simple application, but extremely informative. Let's head over to their Adopt a Park application. So this one is used to, as the name implies, give neighborhood citizens the ability to adopt a park and arrange community cleanup activities. And it sort of is a community-driven application that users can use to keep parks clean and kids safe, I guess, right? So I'm going to enter the same address here, so say that they provide, Nederson Parkway. There we go. Just gives me some information here. So it selected the specific park that I've chosen here, and it gives me the nearby parks here as well, these green features on the map. So there's a couple of options that I have here right inside the results list here. So I can choose to adopt this park. This kicks off a Geocortex workflow to enter information about myself and a possible group that I want to submit to adopt this park. So I can enter my group name, descriptions, my personal name, and I can look at some terms. There's also some requirements here in order for me to proceed. Each of these fields obviously have an asterisk. I can't submit it, and that's the workflow controlling that, as well as an I agree check mark here. So I can't proceed without completing those actions. What I can also do is schedule cleanup. So this is just another workflow, another simple workflow that comes up. So let's say I adopted a park and I want to schedule a cleanup with my community. I can do that here. So I can specify the group name, enter a date, a cleanup date, and then information, and agree. So I can submit that to the city, and then they can sort of organize that for the cleanup date. Again, simple, effective application. So since implementing Geocortex Essentials in 2013, Brooklyn Park has developed various internal and public-facing applications, all aimed at streamlining city processes and making important information readily accessible to staff. So just talking about one of their main internal Geocortex applications, which they've named CityView, connects staff to all of the city's major data sources with a single search. Users can find property information from the assessment database, licensing information from the land management and permitting system, police records from the public safety record management system, and information is stored natively in the city's enterprise GIS, which contains more than 70 map and image layers. So this internal application has significantly streamlined business operations and helped break down those departmental silos, which has vastly improved interdepartmental communication and efficiency. So the public-facing apps that we just saw as well have also seen strong adoptions through the community. Working with both ArcGIS Align and Geocortex Essentials has influenced their attention to designing simple yet powerful web GIS applications. Focus on leveraging configuration and Geocortex workflow technology to simplify the experience for end users and administrators. So the last example we'll look at here is the City of Bellingham, and we're going to be looking at their City IQ app. So the city needed a way for city staff and public users to find property information and create their own custom maps and reports. This way city property information could be acquired by the public rather than submitting a request to the city manually, and therefore reducing the amount of required resources to manage these requests. So let's jump in here right away. Let's have a look here. So the City IQ mobile map viewer allows you to search for Bellingham area information and create custom maps, as I said before, including aerial photos, property boundaries, location of utility services, and much more. So I'll show you a couple of things in this application. So first off, just showing just a little bit of an integration here of Google Maps. You can see it pops up right in the map tip here, kind of native integration there. If I zoom in a little bit more, and I want to find a specific school, I'm going to zoom into this high school here. So inside this map tip here, I have several things that I can do. So what I can do is there's a couple of reports that I can generate here, and they each function differently. There's also assessor links that link to an external system I'll show you in a second, and also documents as well. So I'm actually going to run the permit counter parcel report, and you'll see what this does right away. So what this is doing is running a workflow, compiling all the workflows, compiling all the information about this parcel, and it's going to generate a report right for me right away. And you'll see here in a second, it's quite an extensive report. So here we have a feature map that indicates obviously highlights the feature on the map. We also have property information. We have legal information for parcel number, full parcel number. So I'm going to actually open this up in a new window. This is linking to their on-base system internally. So you can see the connection between the GIS application and their internal system, and it allows them to then work with that parcel information here. There's also a few other interesting areas here that I can connect to. So zoning. So all these URLs that you find here are dynamically generated based on the parcel that I've selected in the report. So I can look at the city information here based on neighborhood plans and zoning. I can look at again, neighborhood information, linking to just a general kind of informational type page. We have survey records, so I can look at all of these documents here as well. And this is the record for that specific parcel again. So there's quite a lot of integration here with their internal systems as well. So close that off. And now if I wanted to customize that report, so make it a little bit more defined, or if I wanted to choose some other items or not include some other items, I can choose this option here, Land Parcel Report. This kicks off a workflow to allow me to customize my report. So I can change the map style. There's just a standard or a viewer map. We'll just change that to viewer map. And if I select this last option, again, this is Geocortex workflow running here. If I select this last option, I can select specific topics. So I'm basically building a custom report. Workflow then guides me to the next form here where I'm able to select specific options or specific sections in this report. So just going to remove the map so you can kind of see it. I'm going to remove zoning, just remove some items here so you can see that it's going to be a smaller report. That's fine. And I'll hit next. So again, it's going to workflow then takes all that information, compiles the report together, and Geocortex reporting then displays the report. So you can see now that I don't have a feature map, but I have the information there that I specified. So again, these are all custom URLs that are generated here for me to use. Very cool use of reporting in Geocortex workflow. There's also a couple of other things here as well, assessor links. So this again links to their, I'm going to choose it directly here. So again, we see the on-base application here linked, and we're using that URL parameter to bring up that item. And Values brings it up to the same system again. And then we also have documents here. So this is hosted by the city. If you wanted to look at some parcel or city documents, you have access to this system, their internal system here as well. It's really cool. And if all that wasn't enough, you can run a simple mailing labels report if you so choose. So see, these are just some of the thousands of applications our clients have built out in the field. If you're curious to learn more about these clients and others, please visit us at go.geocortex.com/customers. If you want to find out more about Geocortex in general, you can look at our Geocortex Build Better Apps page. You can find that at go.geocortex.com/buildbetterapps. You can also check out our blog for previous customer spotlight videos, along with other content such as Geocortex tech tips. Tech tips dive into how to complete common and actually not so common tasks in Geocortex Essentials and our other product, Geocortex Analytics. These videos can also be found on our YouTube channel, Geocortex. And that's all I have for today. Thank you for joining me, and have a great day.